Hi, John. How are you doing?
Hi David, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well too. We're talking about this issue about the right question, and this is one of the tougher topics, I feel. You found this one is sort of not so easy to understand. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, I found it hard to, relate. Yes,
Get a handle on this one, and even the
yeah,
example. I mean, Peter's given us this wonderful illustration which sort of highlights the difference between a GLM and a mixed model, and even that's pretty technical to understand. It's intimidating.
yes, yes, it
Um,
is.
it is. And I think, it's one of those things where I'm slightly worried that people might come across this as one of the earlier topics if they're going through the content approach, and get put off because it is a hard problem. It's it's maybe the hardest problem we sort of touch on is this issue about asking the right question and being able to understand um, the differences between the questions that different methods can answer. I mean,
Mm,
you have, as a data scientist, you have a rich toolbox of methods that you use. But I think one of the things which maybe is, I know you struggled with, even when we had the minute game, when you first came across this, was this aspect that actually the toolbox you have often isn't integrally related to the questions you're trying to answer, and so that there's
yeah,
often a disconnect between in practice what you as a data scientist are doing, just applying a technique, applying a method, which and you're very good at. Um, and one of the
yeah,
challenges, as we've worked together, one of the challenges you've always had is is to understand, well, what does this actually mean? What's the interpretation of the analysis I've just done and the details of that?
yeah,
And that sort of, and broadly, this has been the biggest challenge for you working with me over the last few years, hasn't it?
yeah. I feel, of course, I've realized I've been, developing in this aspect as time goes on. Um, and that's me building the intuition because I've been working now in the field. So yes, in the beginning it's been hard, and it's getting better every day for me
Yeah.
to be able to interpret the results that I get through
Well,
my
I mean,
analysis.
this is the key thing that there's a difference between, and what you've always been very good at applying the methods and getting answers to the questions with the methods. But I think what you've been challenged with, sort of through our interactions and through the work we've been doing, is this aspect that actually it's not just about a sort of data interpretation. It's not just about understanding the results of the methods from a data perspective. You've got to understand what was the right question to ask in the first place.
Yeah,
And that might have changed the methods you want to use because different
yeah,
methods might or might not be able to answer that. Just and this is sort of I certainly see why this topic is one which maybe hits a nerve for you in the sense that this is a tough topic. We're not going to get people to suddenly really be experts at understanding, how to build this intuition, this sort of the deep understanding of the different methods and how they relate
yeah,
to the sort of practical questions through our course. So I guess the aim of this topic is really to get people aware of this and to be thinking about how they need to work together in teams, and on a number of the
yeah,
problems we're working together on, I'm engaging in quite a lot of that sort of thinking about the methods, which methods to use, and you're then applying them. And then we're
yeah,
discussing the interpretations, and we're discussing the interpretations with people who understand the context. And so it
yeah,
really is about that understanding that, as a data scientist, you might be a specialist, you might be really good at applying techniques, but it's not enough to answer the questions that matter.
Yes.
The questions that matter need a team of people with different expertise. Some to actually put the time in. You spent days and days sometimes on analysis, which have then come back to me. We've discussed and very quickly said, aha, no, think about it. If that bit, if that's what it means, then we're not doing the right thing. And we've gone back round in circles. And this is sort of where, if I could never put that time in to do that analysis, I wouldn't do that. I don't have that time. But we're able to, together between us and with the collaborators who we work with, to answer, to try to get to the heart of what are the right questions we're trying to answer, and how do the sort of analytic tools that you're using contribute to answering that question. I mean, this is...
That's true. I guess the reason I couldn't relate easily is this factor. It takes time to actually build that intuition. And if you don't have it yet, it's best to work with people who have already the intuition to be in your team, to guide you through asking the right questions, which you then tailor your analysis that you do, or the code that you write, or the models that you build.
And I think, this is exactly, I can talk about my own journey on this. And one of the things which I think is really interesting is sort of when I was sort of in your position, sort of building the intuition, I was working with other people who had good intuition and who were playing a different role. And I don't think I've ever worked on a successful project which didn't have a team of people working at different levels within the same sort of space. You need that diversity of some people who are going to have the time to immerse themselves with a tool, actually go through, apply it, get the results, do it properly, and other people who are going to be sort of playing that role of interpretation across tools and across different questions and understanding, are the results the right answer that we're looking for? Are we even asking the right question? So I broadly think what we're getting to, and this is rather different from a lot of the other topics, is that this asking the right question is an experience. It's an intuition that comes over time, and it's something where you don't expect an individual to have it for everything. It's all about the collaboration. This is one of the reasons that good projects are in teams. And actually, sometimes, some of the best projects, and the example which has been used in the sort of in the case study above is this flourishing example where they have an immense teams of many teams of different people working on different aspects of the same problem because the questions were defined. So I think it's a really difficult, it's a challenging topic to have started with. And I'm slightly concerned that this is the first topic for many people who are consuming it in certain ways. But hey, it's an interesting one. Thanks, John.
Thank you.